Consistency is one of the most underrated yet transformative forces in life. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Many people have dreams and aspirations, but few achieve them. Why? Because while starting is easy, staying the course is not. Consistency requires daily effort, even when the results are not immediately visible. It's about committing to the process, not just the outcome, and understanding that small, repeated actions have the power to yield extraordinary results over time. Imagine a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. With every strike of the hammer, the marble begins to take shape. At first, the progress is slow. The block of marble looks almost the same as it did an hour ago. But the sculptor keeps going, knowing that every strike matters. Over time, those seemingly insignificant strikes reveal a masterpiece. This is the essence of consistency. It's not about making one grand gesture. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you commit to doing something regularly, you create a track record. You begin to prove to yourself that you are capable of following through. This self-trust is critical because it forms the foundation of confidence. Confidence isn't built overnight. It's cultivated through the repeated act of keeping promises to yourself. Every time you show up when it's hard, you strengthen your belief in your ability to overcome challenges. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is its compounding effect. Just like financial investments grow through compound interest, your efforts compound over time. Consider the example of reading. If you commit to reading just 10 pages a day, it may not feel like much in the moment, but over the course of a year, that adds up to 3,650 pages, the equivalent of roughly 12 books. Now imagine the knowledge and growth you would gain from reading 12 books a year. This is the magic of consistency. It takes small, daily actions and turns them into something far greater than the sum of their parts. Consistency is also the antidote to unpredictability. Life is full of ups and downs, and motivation can be fleeting. Some days you'll wake up feeling inspired and ready to tackle your goals. Other days you'll feel tired, unmotivated, or even discouraged. Consistency ensures that you keep moving forward regardless of how you feel. It's the discipline to act even when the excitement has faded and the initial burst of enthusiasm has worn off. This is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. It's important to understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when you stumble, when you miss a step, or when life throws unexpected challenges your way. What matters is not that you never falter, but that you always get back on track. Think of consistency as a long journey. Missing one step along the way doesn't mean the journey is over. It's about having the resilience to keep going, even when the path gets tough. Consistency also transforms your identity. When you repeatedly engage in a behavior, it becomes a part of who you are. For example, if you consistently go to the gym, you begin to see yourself as a fit and disciplined person. If you consistently write, you start to view yourself as a writer. This shift in identity is powerful because it reinforces your behavior. When you see yourself as someone who is consistent and disciplined, you are more likely to continue those habits, creating a positive feedback loop. Another remarkable thing about consistency is its ability to influence others. When people see you show up day after day, they begin to trust you. Whether it's in your personal relationships, your career, or your community, consistency builds credibility. People are drawn to those who are reliable and steadfast because they know they can count on them. This trust opens doors to new opportunities and strengthens the connections you have with others. In the grand scheme of things, consistency is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It's not about talent, luck, or resources. It's about the ability to persist. History is filled with examples of individuals who achieved greatness through consistent effort. Think of athletes who train every day, even when no one is watching. Think of inventors who endure countless failures before finally succeeding. Their stories remind us that the journey to success is rarely glamorous, but it is always worth it. Consistency is a choice. It's a decision to keep showing up, to keep putting in the work, and to keep believing in the process, even when the results are not immediate. It's about having the patience to wait for the seeds you've planted to grow, knowing that every effort you make is moving you closer to your goals. So the question is not whether consistency works, it does. Because in the end, consistency isn't just a habit. It's a way of life that has the power to change everything. Discipline over motivation is a principle that lies at the heart of achieving consistency and long-term success. Motivation is often seen as the spark that ignites action, a burst of energy or inspiration that drives us to begin something new. It feels powerful, exciting, and even transformative in the moment. But as strong as motivation might be, it is inherently fleeting. It ebbs and flows, often dictated by circumstances, emotions, or external factors. While motivation can help you start, it is discipline that ensures you continue, even when the initial spark fades away. Discipline, in contrast to motivation, is not reliant on how you feel at any given moment. It is a steadfast commitment to act according to your goals and values, regardless of your emotional state. This makes it a far more reliable and sustainable force. Discipline is what allows you to get up early and work out, even when the warmth of your bed is tempting you to stay. It's what pushes you to focus on a project, even when distractions or fatigue try to pull you away. Discipline doesn't wait for the right mood or the perfect time. It acts in the present moment, regardless of how you feel. The reason discipline is more powerful than motivation lies in its ability to create habits. Motivation may inspire action, but discipline turns those actions into routines. When you rely solely on motivation, you're at the mercy of fluctuating emotions and unpredictable circumstances. One day you feel inspired to eat healthy, but the next day a stressful event might derail your intentions. Discipline, however, doesn't waver in the face of these challenges. Discipline, it takes your goals and anchors them in consistent, repeated behaviors until they become second nature. Over time, these disciplined habits become part of your identity. Imagine a writer trying to complete a novel. If they only write when they feel motivated, their progress will be slow and sporadic. Weeks or months might pass without them putting pen to paper. But a writer who relies on discipline instead of motivation commits to writing a certain number of words every day, regardless of whether they feel inspired. Over time, these small, disciplined efforts accumulate, and the novel takes shape. This is the power of discipline. It creates momentum and ensures progress, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline also trains your mind to prioritize long-term goals over short-term gratification. One of the biggest challenges people face is the pull of immediate pleasures, which can often derail progress toward meaningful achievements. For example, choosing to watch television instead of studying for an important exam may feel satisfying in the moment. Discipline helps you override this impulse, teaching you to delay gratification and focus on what truly matters. This mental strength is a skill that grows stronger with practice, and it serves as a foundation for achieving lasting success in all areas of life. Another remarkable aspect of discipline is its ability to build resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Motivation, being tied to your emotional state, often fades in the face of adversity. Discipline, however, thrives in these moments. It equips you with the ability to push forward, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Discipline doesn't require you to feel strong or confident. It only asks that you show up and do the work. This persistence, repeated over time, builds an unshakable resilience that allows you to overcome obstacles and keep moving toward your goals. It's also important to recognize that discipline, like any skill, can be developed. Many people mistakenly believe that discipline is an innate quality, something you either have or don't. In reality, discipline is a muscle that grows stronger with consistent use. You don't need to start with Herculean efforts. Even small acts of discipline can create a ripple effect in your life. For example, committing to waking up 15 minutes earlier each day can set the tone for a more productive morning routine. These small wins build confidence and make it easier to tackle larger challenges over time. One of the greatest gifts of discipline is the sense of freedom it provides. While discipline may initially feel restrictive, it ultimately creates structure and control in your life. When you are disciplined, you are no longer at the mercy of your whims or external circumstances. You become the architect of your own life, choosing actions that align with your values and aspirations. This sense of control fosters a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose, which is far more rewarding than the fleeting satisfaction of giving into distractions or procrastination. To truly understand the value of discipline, consider the stories of those who have achieved greatness in their fields. From athletes to entrepreneurs, artists to scientists, their success is almost always rooted in disciplined effort. They didn't rely on motivation to carry them through the years of hard work and sacrifice required to reach their goals. Instead, they cultivated discipline, showing up day after day, even when the work was hard, tedious, or uninspiring. Their achievements are a testament to the enduring power of discipline. In the end, discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. It doesn't rely on the whims of emotion or circumstance. It is a choice you make, moment by moment, to prioritize your goals and take action. While motivation may light the fire, discipline keeps it burning. By embracing discipline, you equip yourself with a tool that not only helps you achieve your dreams, but also transforms you into a stronger, more focused, and more resilient version of yourself. The ripple effect of persistence is one of the most profound yet often overlooked forces in achieving success and making a lasting impact. Persistence at its core is the ability to keep going despite challenges, setbacks, or slow progress. It's the quiet, consistent effort that builds momentum and creates waves far greater than any single action. The ripple effect of persistence demonstrates how small, determined steps, repeated over time, can lead to massive, transformative results that reach far beyond the immediate sphere of influence. Persistence starts with small, deliberate actions. Imagine a single drop of water falling into a still pond. At first, it seems insignificant, barely making a sound, but as the drop touches the water, it creates ripples that expand outward, touching every part of the surface. Persistence works the same way. Each small action may feel minor, even invisible in the moment, but over time, those consistent efforts compound. This compounding effect is where the true power of persistence lies. One of the most compelling aspects of the ripple effect is its ability to transform incremental efforts into monumental outcomes. Consider the example of a musician learning to play an instrument. The first attempts are awkward, filled with mistakes and frustration, but through persistent practice, hour after hour, day after day, those clumsy notes evolve into fluid melodies. What started as a single ripple grows into a wave of skill, artistry, and confidence. This transformation wouldn't be possible without persistence. It's the continuous repetition of small efforts that creates mastery, not a sudden burst of inspiration or talent. Persistence also has a way of unlocking opportunities that might otherwise remain hidden. When you consistently show up and put in the work, you signal to others and to yourself that you are committed to your goals. This dedication often attracts opportunities, resources, and support that you might not have anticipated. For example, a writer who persists in submitting their work despite multiple rejections may eventually catch the attention of the right publisher. A business owner who refuses to give up during tough times may discover innovative solutions that lead to growth. These outcomes are not the result of luck, but of the ripples created by persistent effort. Another remarkable feature of the ripple effect is its ability to inspire others. Persistence is contagious. When people see someone continuing to strive, even in the face of adversity, it serves as a powerful example of resilience and determination. Think of athletes who train relentlessly, entrepreneurs who persevere through failures, or activists who fight tirelessly for change. Their persistence not only propels them toward their own goals, but also inspires those around them to push harder and aim higher. The ripples of their actions extend far beyond their immediate circle, creating a culture of perseverance and hope. The ripple effect of persistence also teaches an important lesson about patience. In a world that often glorifies instant gratification, persistence reminds us that true success takes time. Progress may be slow and uneven, and the results of your efforts may not be immediately visible. However, just as ripples take time to spread across a pond, the impact of persistence grows gradually, often in ways that are imperceptible at first. This requires a mindset shift. Instead of focusing solely on the end result, you must learn to value and trust the process. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a building block for the future. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but persistence equips you with the resilience needed to overcome them. Every ripple you create is a testament to your ability to endure and adapt. When you persist in the face of obstacles, you develop a kind of mental toughness that not only helps you push through current challenges, but also prepares you for future ones. This resilience becomes part of who you are, shaping your character and reinforcing your belief in your ability to navigate adversity. The ripples of persistence therefore extend not just outward but inward, strengthening your. Persistence also aligns with the principle of cumulative advantage. This concept suggests that consistent, small wins over time can snowball into larger successes. For example, an employee who consistently goes above and beyond in their work is more likely to be noticed for promotions and opportunities. A student who persistently studies every day, even for short periods, is more likely to excel than one who crams sporadically. The ripple effect amplifies these consistent efforts, creating a momentum that propels you forward. The impact of persistence isn't limited to personal achievements. It can create change on a larger scale. Many of the world's greatest advancements, whether in science, technology, or social progress, have been the result of persistent effort. Breakthroughs often come after years of trial and error, after countless ripples of effort by individuals or teams who refuse to give up. These ripples converge, creating waves of innovation and transformation that benefit society as a whole. Ultimately, the ripple effect of persistence reminds us that every effort matters, no matter how small it may seem at the time. Each action you take, each step you persistently repeat adds to a greater whole. The beauty of this process is that you don't need to start with a monumental gesture or a grand plan. All it takes is the decision to keep going, one small ripple at a time. Over time, these ripples grow, touching lives, opening doors, and creating waves of change that extend far beyond what you might have imagined. Persistence, therefore, is not just a tool for success, it's a force for transformation, both for yourself and for the world around you. Accountability is one of the most powerful tools for achieving goals and creating meaningful, lasting change. It serves as a bridge between intention and action, turning ideas into results by ensuring that commitments are not only made, but followed through. While the concept of accountability might seem simple, its impact is profound. It requires a willingness to take responsibility for your actions, to be honest with yourself about your progress, and to invite external structures or people to help you stay on track. This combination of personal responsibility and external reinforcement transforms fleeting intentions into lasting habits, making accountability a game changer for anyone seeking success. At its core, accountability begins with self-awareness. It forces you to confront the gap between your aspirations and your actions. Often, people set ambitious goals for themselves, losing weight, writing a book, building a business, but struggle to stay consistent because there is no mechanism in place to hold them accountable. However, when you introduce accountability into the equation, it creates a structure that keeps you aligned with your goals. You no longer rely on willpower or motivation alone. You have a system in place to ensure you keep moving forward. Accountability has a unique ability to provide clarity and focus. When you hold yourself accountable or allow someone else to do so, you are forced to set clear, measurable goals. Vague aspirations like get healthier or improve my career are replaced with specific, actionable steps such as exercise 3 times a week or apply for 5 jobs this month. This specificity makes it easier to track progress and identify areas where improvement is needed. Without accountability, it's easy for goals to remain abstract and for progress to stall. With it, every action has a purpose, and every step moves you closer to your desired outcome. One of the most transformative aspects of accountability is its ability to create a sense of urgency. When you know that someone is checking in on your progress or that a deadline is approaching, it becomes much harder to delay or abandon your efforts. This external pressure may feel uncomfortable at times, but it's precisely this discomfort that drives action. Accountability eliminates the option of complacency, forcing you to prioritize your commitments even when it's inconvenient. Over time, this consistent effort creates momentum, making it easier to sustain progress and build habits. Another key benefit of accountability is the support it provides. When you involve others in your journey, whether through a mentor, a coach, a friend, or a team, you gain access to encouragement, guidance, and perspective. These external sources of accountability act as mirrors, reflecting your progress and reminding you of your potential. They can also help you identify blind spots or obstacles that you might not have noticed on your own. The simple act of sharing your goals with someone else creates a powerful sense of connection and shared purpose, making the journey feel less isolating and more achievable. Accountability also fosters integrity. It challenges you to align your actions with your words, to be the kind of person who does what they say they will do. This alignment between intention and action not only builds trust with others, but also strengthens your self-respect. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, this positive self-reinforcement reinforces your behavior, creating a virtuous cycle of accountability and achievement. While accountability can be transformative, it also requires vulnerability and courage. Admitting your goals to someone else and acknowledging when you fall short can be uncomfortable. It requires you to let go of pride and perfectionism, to accept that progress is often messy and imperfect. But this vulnerability is also what makes accountability so powerful. It creates an opportunity for growth, allowing you to learn from setbacks and build resilience. By embracing accountability, you cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement, where mistakes are not failures but stepping stones towards success. One of the most compelling examples of accountability's impact can be seen in the world of fitness. People who work with personal trainers or join group exercise classes are far more likely to stick to their workout routines than those who try to go it alone. Why? Because they know someone is counting on them to show up. This external expectation provides the extra push needed to overcome laziness or self-doubt. The same principle applies in other areas of life. Whether it's a writing group that holds you to a deadline, a mentor who checks in on your progress, or a friend who reminds you of your commitments, Accountability creates an environment where success is not just possible. Accountability also teaches the value of consistency. While motivation may come and go, accountability ensures that you keep showing up, even on days when you don't feel like it. This consistency is the key to achieving long-term goals, as it allows small, repeated efforts to accumulate over time. The results may not be immediate, but with accountability, you can trust that progress is being made. This trust in the process helps you stay committed, even during moments of doubt or frustration. Ultimately, accountability is not just a tool for achieving goals. It's a mindset that transforms how you approach challenges and opportunities. It empowers you to take ownership of your life, to recognize that your success is not determined by chance. Self-belief is the cornerstone of personal growth and achievement, yet it is often one of the most elusive qualities to cultivate. It's the inner conviction that you are capable of achieving your goals, despite the challenges you may face along the way. Self-belief isn't about arrogance or delusion. It's about having the confidence in your abilities, skills, and potential to push through adversity and stay the course. Without self-belief, every setback feels like an insurmountable obstacle, and every challenge seems like proof of inadequacy. With self-belief, however, every obstacle becomes an opportunity for growth, and every setback becomes a lesson in perseverance. At the heart of self-belief is a deep understanding of your value. Many people struggle with self-doubt because they place their worth outside of themselves, on external factors such as their achievement, status, or approval from others. True self-belief comes from within. It is the realization that you are enough just as you are. This realization allows you to be less dependent on the validation of others and more grounded in your own sense of worth. When you believe in your own value, you're able to take risks, face challenges head-on, and move forward with confidence. One of the reasons self-belief is so important is that it enables you to take action. Fear of failure often holds people back from pursuing their dreams, and a lack of belief in oneself magnifies this fear. Without self-belief, even the most promising opportunities can seem too daunting to seize. People may talk themselves out of taking risks or trying new things because they believe they won't succeed. However, when you have self-belief, you don't let fear dictate your actions. You understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth or abilities, but a part of the process. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Self-belief empowers you to take action, even when the outcome is uncertain, because you trust in your ability to learn, adapt, and grow through any experience. Self-belief also builds resilience. Life is filled with ups and downs, and no one is immune to setbacks or difficulties. But people who believe in themselves are better equipped to handle adversity. When challenges arise, they are able to approach them with a mindset that sees obstacles as temporary and solvable, rather than permanent and insurmountable. Resilient people are not immune to failure or hardship, but their self-belief helps them recover more quickly and keep moving forward. If they understand that failure is not final, it is simply a part of the journey. This resilience makes them less likely to give up when things get tough, and more likely to bounce back stronger each time they encounter a setback. Building self-belief requires a shift in perspective. It's easy to focus on what's not working or what you lack, but self-belief is rooted in gratitude and acknowledgement of your strengths. To cultivate this belief, it's essential to reflect on past successes, however small they may seem. Every achievement, no matter how insignificant it may feel at the time, contributes to your sense of competence and capability. Recognizing and celebrating these wins reinforces your belief in yourself and builds momentum for future endeavors. When you reflect on your growth rather than focusing on your shortcomings, you create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your self-belief. Another important aspect of self-belief is surrounding yourself with the right influences. The people you associate with, the messages you consume, and the environments you inhabit all impact how you view yourself. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, self-doubt, or discouraging voices, it becomes much harder to maintain belief in your abilities. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with people who uplift, support, and challenge you can significantly boost your self-belief. Positive influences act as mirrors, reflecting your potential back to you and reminding you of the strengths and talents you may not always see in yourself. Similarly, consuming uplifting content, whether books, podcasts, or speeches, can help reframe your mindset and foster a deeper sense of self-belief. One of the most profound effects of self-belief is its impact on your actions. When you believe in yourself, you are more likely to take bold, decisive actions toward your goals. You are willing to put in the work, take risks, and invest time and energy into your vision. This sense of belief fuels persistence, helping you to push past obstacles and maintain focus on the long term. People with self-belief are not deterred by short-term challenges because they have a clear sense of purpose and direction. They know that their hard work and effort will eventually pay off, even if it takes time. This confidence in the process is what drives success. Self-belief also improves your relationships with others. When you believe in yourself, you are less likely to seek validation from others or allow their opinions to dictate your actions. This creates a sense of inner peace and confidence that others are drawn to. People who are secure in themselves tend to attract relationships that are healthy, supportive, and enriching. In turn, this allows them to celebrate the successes of others without jealousy or insecurity, fostering a more positive and collaborative environment. Self-belief allows you to be fully present in your relationships as you are no longer consumed by self-doubt or comparison. The journey to self-belief is not always easy, and it may require time and effort to overcome the voices of doubt that can cloud your mind. But with practice, patience, and persistence, self-belief can be cultivated. It starts by recognizing and embracing your strengths, reflecting on your past achievements, and taking action even when fear or uncertainty arise. Every step you take with self-belief, no matter how small, reinforces your confidence and strengthens your resolve. It's about trusting in your ability to navigate challenges, overcome obstacles, and ultimately achieve your goals. When you believe in yourself, the possibilities are endless, and you begin to see not just what is possible, but what is inevitable. Embracing failure is one of the most transformative steps you can take on the journey to success. Failure is often viewed negatively, something to be avoided at all costs, but in reality, it is an essential part of the growth process. It is a stepping stone that can propel you forward rather than holding you back. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world have faced repeated failures, yet they have turned these experiences into valuable lessons that shape their eventual success. Embracing failure doesn't mean seeking it out or celebrating it, but rather understanding its significance and learning how to use it as a tool for improvement. At its core, failure provides feedback. Every time you fail, you are given an opportunity to assess what went wrong, why it happened, and how you can improve moving forward. This feedback is incredibly valuable because it prevents you from repeating the same mistakes and helps you refine your approach. It also forces you to confront your weaknesses and limitations, which can lead to personal growth and development. Failure in this sense is not something to be feared, but something to be welcomed as a teacher. It guides you toward better strategies, better decisions, and ultimately better results. Failure also builds resilience, which is essential for long-term success. The more you fail and learn from those failures, the more you develop the mental toughness necessary to persevere through difficulties. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding failure, but from experiencing it, processing it, and continuing to move forward despite it. Each failure strengthens your ability to handle setbacks, which are inevitable in any journey. Those who avoid failure often find themselves crippled when faced with challenges, while those who embrace failure are better equipped to bounce back, adjust their approach, and continue working toward their goals. One of the most important aspects of embracing failure is shifting your mindset from seeing it as a permanent defeat to viewing it as a temporary setback. When you fail, it's easy to get discouraged and start doubting your abilities. However, it's crucial to remember that failure is not a reflection of who you are or what you are capable of. It's simply a result of a specific set of circumstances or actions. It's not the end of your journey, but a part of it. By reframing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, you free yourself from the fear of making mistakes, which in turn allows you to take more risks, push your boundaries, and pursue your goals with greater determination. Leadership. Embracing failure also cultivates a growth mindset, a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning. People with a growth mindset see failure as a necessary component of success. They understand that their talents are not fixed and that they can improve through effort and practice. On the other hand, those with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are static and that failure reflects a lack of innate talent. By embracing failure, you move away from a fixed mindset and open yourself up to continuous learning and self-improvement. This mindset shift is crucial for achieving long-term success, as it fosters a willingness to experiment, try new things, and keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Another significant benefit of embracing failure is that it can reduce the fear of taking risks. Many people are held back from pursuing their goals because they are terrified of failing. They think that if they fail, it will mean they are not good enough or that their dreams are unattainable. This fear can paralyze them and prevent them from ever taking the first step. However, once you embrace failure and see it for what it truly is, a learning experience, you no longer have to fear it. In fact, you may find that failure becomes a motivating force, encouraging you to take risks that you would have otherwise avoided. It's through these risks that growth happens. By failing and learning from those failures, you increase your chances of success in the future. In addition, embracing failure fosters creativity and innovation. When you fail, you are forced to reassess your approach and think outside the box. Failure encourages you to question assumptions, break from conventional thinking, and try new strategies. Many breakthroughs in history have come about because someone was willing. If we look at the stories of inventors like Thomas Edison or entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, we see that their success was built on a foundation of failures. They weren't afraid to fail. As a result, they put the boundaries of what was possible. Failure also provides an opportunity for humility and self-reflection. It reminds you that no one is immune to mistakes or setbacks, and that success is rarely achieved without effort, struggle, and failure. When you experience failure, it can be humbling, forcing you to re-examine your strategies, expectations, and goals. This reflection can lead to greater self-awareness and a more realistic understanding of what it takes to succeed. Humility is a valuable trait that helps you remain grounded and open to learning. By accepting that failure is a part of life, you learn to be more compassionate with yourself and with others, fostering a mindset of growth and understanding. Furthermore, embracing failure can also strengthen relationships. When you are willing to be vulnerable and share your failures with others, you create deeper connections. People are drawn to authenticity, and by sharing your struggles, you invite others to do the same. This shared experience of failure can lead to mutual support, encouragement, and collaboration. It also creates a culture where mistakes are not stigmatized, but seen as part of the journey towards success. In such an environment, people are more likely to take risks, be creative, and grow together. Ultimately, embracing failure is not about celebrating mistakes, but about recognizing their value as part of the process of growth and achievement. Failure teaches us lessons that success simply cannot provide. It challenges us to become better, stronger, and more resilient. It forces us to face our fears, learn new skills, and develop a mindset that embraces change. When you shift your perspective on failure and see it as a necessary and valuable part of the journey, you unlock the potential to achieve your greatest goals.